Oh hey, I didn't see you there, but I do know that you're in the market to buy a Westport, and if you're looking to buy a Westport 130 in particular, you came to the right place because within 5 minutes of watching this video, I'm about to save you 29% or $5 million off the asking price of that Westport 130 that you're looking for. My name's Chris Mortimer from Yacht Zero Yacht Acquisition Advisors, and I'm making sure wherever you are in the world to buy your yacht, you're gonna buy it at the right price by leveraging data and analytics and asking the questions that sellers don't want you to ask or you realize you should have asked after you already own the boat and you have headaches to deal with. Whenever you buy a yacht, someone stands to make a lot of money in buying it, as someone's gonna be making half of the commission paid by the seller. And my philosophy is that should be me. Not because I'm entitled, but because someone needs to advocate. Someone needs to say, after doing all these transactions, what have I learned? What does an owner want to see? Instead of telling you what you want to hear and kind of missing details after the fact. So at the end of the day, it's nice to say that warm and welcoming, but we have to be good, because if we're good, we get you on the tender you buy to go with that boat. We buy the 175 footer in a couple years when you're ready to move on to the next one. So we have to make sure that we do a good job for you today. We have to make sure we wrestle that seller on your behalf. Now, if you're a first-time buyer, a Westport 130 is quite a big start. They're the Rolls-Royce of American-built yachts, and they hold their value really well. The draft is really shallow for a boat of this size. They have a great use of space and really adequate crew and mechanical accommodations, which then allows the service to show through for you as an owner, for your guests, and for charter guests as well. As most of these boats in class are built abroad, they've really benefited over the last few years through the tariffs and not having to wait for parts coming from overseas. That's a tremendous benefit to these boats. I always like to be honest and talk about the good and the bad, but to be very honest with you, there's almost nothing bad to say about these boats. These boats are about as flawless as they get. Now, with that said, Westport 130s to me are my biggest love-hate because they signal the biggest mistake I ever made in my career. All the way back in 2021, before the COVID boom really happened, a client and myself, we made an offer on a boat for $12 million. We were about $250,000 off, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna stand firm and we know they're gonna accept our offer. Well, they didn't, and not only did they not, but that boat now 5 years later is now asking $17 million. And you wanna know what's crazy? They're not going to get that, but it's going to be much higher than where we bought the boat. So if these were investments, then everyone can make money, and especially we know now post-COVID, a lot of boat values dropped pretty severely. This is still a pretty good boat to buy. Now we need to start looking at the analysis and the data that you need to have in front of you when making your sound purchasing decisions. Now keep in mind, the charts you're about to watch in this video are static. When you go over our website, you're going to be able to view these in real time, filter, click, and get a bunch of information. So it's very important that you check that out once this is done. In this chart, we're comparing how long Westport 130s have been on the market right now and how long it typically takes them to sell. The numbers on the left, those are those available. With the numbers on the right, that is how long it takes Westports and Westport 130s. Without a doubt, this shows that there's a big market stagnation and there's gonna be a correction to come in these prices, as they're almost all over what it typically takes these boats to sell. When we look at this chart, the crosses indicate where the Westport 130s have sold over the course of time, and the circles indicate which Westport 130s are typically available. In a totally efficient world, in the way it should be, the circles should be below the crosses. Unfortunately, you see here, those circles are packed within sales that occurred 5, 8, 3 years ago. So we need to make sure that we can try and wrestle that number below so you don't get caught losing unnecessary value when you turn around and sell that boat in the future. What we see in this chart is this is sales over time, and right now we're looking at the 2011 Westport 130. We know that that owner bought it just under $17 million when it was new, and it essentially lost 28% of its value, $4.75 million over a 9-year period, which essentially equates to 3.11% per year. We then look at this and say it's now listed 40.83% over the pre-COVID boom price. So it's a really tough thing for us to justify technically and fundamentally. In normal analysis, I would tell you easy. $4 million, scratch it off right now. Unfortunately, markets are not totally efficient. Many buyers aren't going to have this information that I'm sharing with you, and you still have to be able to strike a market aware deal. There's times we do this and we say, oh my God, no brainer, we could get this boat for less. These Westport 130s are great boats. If they're in great condition and reasonably priced to the market, someone is always going to buy the boat, and that was indicated by how long they typically take to sell. So it's totally shocking as to how far these prices ran up. You probably are going to think I'm crazy. There's going to be other brokers and YouTube trolls here saying that this guy's crazy, he's an idiot, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. If you and I know one thing, if you're in the market to buy a Westport 130, you were told that a few times in your life as well. So with that said, whichever Westport you're looking at, whatever boat you're looking at, wherever you are in the world, the fundamental analysis is the same, okay? So we want to make sure that you have this in front of you when you're buying this boat. If you can do me a huge favor, I need you to like this video, comment, and subscribe, as that helps me find other people in the market to buy their boats and helps me and my team grow our business. After you do that, and I appreciate it, you're going to head over our website and you're going to request some specific analysis here for you and in your search. We're trying to make this process a little bit clearer. We're trying to stick up for the buyers because too often you hear a lot of captains say, I don't want to be a yacht broker because I'm too honest. And at the end of the day, we realize that there's a lot of smart people out there that want to know what they don't know. And they want to just be shot straight, give me the bad, tell me what's happening here, and tell me based on your experience what happens. A lot of people end up missing that. So again, my name's Chris Mortimer. We're Yacht Zero Yacht Acquisition Advisors. Happy yachting, my friend.